Good morning to all traders and welcome to another Markets in Waves. Today is the 6th of September. We're following again on a Monday, following NFP of course. You know that the results weren't really as expected, but despite that, after this leg to the downside, then we are currently seeing what it looks like a correction to me on the DXY. Obviously, it's affecting all the markets, all the pairs that trade against the USD. So we're going to look at the euro dollar as well, dollar yen, the prices of oil and gold. I wish I would do more because I also want to talk about pound, but we can still, I was in a debate, should I do dollar yen or pound, but dollar yen is more important. So we're going to do those fives today, and then from tomorrow, of course, with new data coming in as well, we're going to pick our new 5 assets. So for today, though, I'm looking at this particular divergence on the RSI and a little bit on the, on the MACD and a little bit on the RSI. Do you recall that we were talking about the 61.8 getting reached at 92? That has happened, right? And now we're moving up. Now, well, obviously, we do not know yet what this is going to be because it looks like an A, it looks like an impulse, 5 waves. So it's very possible that we're going to see an A, a B, and a C. Okay, usually wave 2. Can retrace back to the previous internal wave 4 structure, might be looking at 92.70 or so, but the truth is that we never know how deep the correction can be. It can be very shallow. So we're looking at 93.36, 92.62, 92.83 if we take our Fibonacci's into consideration. Now, what else we can do is do the 38.2, which gets us to 92.39 over here. This is the Fibonacci extension. We can also look at the 92.29 as a potential level. You can see that between 29 and 36, this can be considered as a sort of a cluster. Okay, so once we get the correction in wave 2, we should continue to move higher, to move lower down. Now, you can see that our MACD, or the RSI, of course, has turned somewhat bullish. It's above the 50, but we'll prefer to see it above 60. MACD, the histogram is positive, but both EMAs are still negative. I would expect that to actually come back higher up, and what we could potentially see is, have a sort of bearish divergence over here, hidden bearish divergence on the RSI, maybe even MACD as well, for the continuation to the downside. Now, the continuation to the downside, is we're down the 61.8 here, then we'll have to take into account that we have a new low now, right? So we'll have to take into account this for now, because we don't have wave 2 yet. So we're looking at 38.2, 61.8, and the 100, and then the 100, 61.8. Okay, so literally the 89. Obviously, these levels are just indicative for now. Once we get the correction in wave 2 done, which is what we're expecting to see, then we can look for projections. If, for example, we'll go back to wave 4, then we'll be looking at 91.69 and then the 91. Okay, and then from following the 91, we'll go to like 90. Okay, so anyway, let's jump quickly on euro dollar. Euro dollar, it also looks like it's finished its impulse move to the upside. We have an impulse wave 3 here, clear one, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which means like 119 is our level for now. And don't forget also, we came back to our wave 4 over here, right? So, well, if we stop here, obviously, and we turn lower down, this, this is an alternative scenario, and means most likely will be a case where that might be W, X, and Y, or a different pattern. I'm not going to look at it just yet, but for now, we do know this is moving lower down, and perhaps it might be an ABC as well, right? So don't forget that wave 2 usually corrects 61.8 of wave 1, right? If we take into account that our wave 1 comes above 61.8, then we ought to to consider that, our wave 2 might be a bit shorter this time. We might get down to the 50 Fibonacci and then shoot higher. Obviously, we do get these signals on the MACD and the RSI, a little bit less on the RSI, at least in the short term. In the long term, we still get it. But the important thing is that, to read the signals on a potential, support over here, which would be, obviously, if we have a 5-wave move, we expect a 3, and then you see the first and the second, you pull your Fibonacci tool from 1 and 2, and you measure, the 1, 6, 1, 8, and the 100, and then we also measure this and this, right? Usually ABCs, waves A and C are equal, so this is another thing you can do. But if it is an ABC, you always have to wait for the 5th wave in wave C, and it's very easy to pretty much observe and identify. So we will have to wait and see how this works out. We don't know what correction is going to be, but we do know that most likely this is going to be a correction, and then we're going to continue higher in wave 3 of, well, intermediate wave 1, whether this is a 2 or a B. Dollar yen now, why I picked this one instead of GBP USD is because we've had finally this triangle, the symmetrical triangle in WX and Y in wave 2 finishing. Okay, so we're waiting for wave D the other day. It's happened, and now we've got an ABC down here as well, guys. So to me, that looks like an overthrow wave E, okay, and we're still very valid. And with this sort of volumes increasing over here, it seems to me that there might be a very good support coming in. So we've got a 1 and 2 because a bit of an increase in the green down here as well. So what I want to see now, I want to see wave 3, impulse wave 3 in this structure, right, internally. So we want to see volumes increasing and a breakout above the previous high that we just did, which is the 109.85. This is what we want to see. Once this is done, the WXY wave 2 will be finished, will be completed. And then, you know, obviously the potential to the upside is here quite good, right? We're looking at the first initial support, the previous high, 111.65, whatever that was, and then continuation to the upside, whether this is an ABC or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, the alternative here is that, you know, it could be a case where this is going to be an ABC and it's going to continue lower down for wave Y, and this is the only scary sort of alternative here, because this could be still like an ABC here, like BW, and then you could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or ABCDE, and then move lower down. So this could already be the case, and we might keep moving lower down here. What we want to see really is prices breaking above 110 first and then outside the trend line. These two will be the validations. Obviously, you know, the moment will break and we come for a test over here, that will be the best signal and the most conservative, I would say. But for now, just keep an eye on what's going to happen around these levels. Swing lows, swing highs, and breakouts are very important. Oil, we can keep seeing this with an expanding flat view or running flat, because this is ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Looks like it's going to go for a running flat and then continue all the way up, which means the low is here, WX and Y, that was exact. But then one might ask, well, look, what if that was an ABC? Because we also talked about this scenario, right? That might be ABC. Well, yes, I hear you. The thing is, I still see ABC here, and I still see ABC here. So this ABC, unless if it turns out to be a very shallow and small wave 4 here in here, then it doesn't look like it's done, okay? So I'm looking for this sort of 5-wave move to continue lower down and finish above the previous low for running flat. Now, the other scenario would be this. That, you know, we are moving up and this is a correction, we are going to go higher up, but I don't like this as much. That's why it's the alternative 2 rather than 3. The alternative, rather than 1, the first alternative is that, you know, this is ABC, yeah, and we're going to continue higher for a triple zigzag. This is my main, and the first alternative is my alternative. Why? Because this is still, I see this still as an ABC. And second, if this was a correction and that my wave 1 internally was here, you know, like we had 1 and 2, excuse me, if we had 1, oh my God, if we had 1 and 2, look, I mean, this is getting really deep into the territory of wave 1. So for now, probability wise, I'm looking at this as a running flat, guys. Okay, we've got these 2 signals coming in as well. So this is with this wave 1 and 2, and these 3, I expect definitely a 4th and the 5th one. Okay, and that's going to be either a case where, you know, we're going to get ABC and then continue higher, or because it might be WX and Y, right? We never know. Or, you know, the running flat and then continue higher, or the expanding flat. But I don't think expanding flat because my wave 1 is short. Okay, so if my wave 1 was this, then I would be like, okay, 3 and 4 can be, you know, can really give us a move below the 67. For gold, last time I was looking for a potential end diagonal here, guys, but since that time, we've got these huge volumes over here, and to me now that looks like it can be only an impulse to the upside. Okay, so with that said, I've made a small change over here. I'm looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 now, and this is like an ABC correction over here, and this is, you know, the like W, X, and Y, right? So this is a truncation in wave Y. And why do I see this that way, you might ask? Well, for two reasons, okay? First of all, there is an ABC here, which is very easy to see, okay? And then you might ask, well, okay, but you know, what is this? Is this a flat or what? No, it's not a flat, and I will tell you why, because we don't need the 90%, okay? So it's just the W, X, and Y. So this is my A, my B, and my C, and this is my A, my B, and my C, and A, B, and a C, W, X, and Y. So the second reason is because we are starting this very impulsive move here, which is at wave 3, right? It's not here that we start here. So this is like the support, and you know, well, that's pretty much the two reasons that I'm looking at this as an impulse to the upside in wave 3. So well, where we're going to go, obviously it's not easy to say, but for now it looks like to me that this is internal structure 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to see the fifth one, 4, 3, then 4, and we need to stay above 1823, obviously in the 4 though, not in the current leg. The current leg can go below here, we don't mind. It can literally go down to 1815, but I don't think it will. I think we're going to get a correction, and then we're going to continue higher up. Then we'll get the 4, then we'll get the 5th, and that's going to be minor wave 3. The truth is that, you know, we need to see how this develops to the upside. Why we also need to take into account that we do have a divergence on the MACD. Okay, on the RSI we don't see it, but on the MACD at least we see this sort of divergence. Now, for sort of levels, you know, despite the fact that, you know, we don't want to go too far, what we would do for now is just, you know, measure this minute degree leg. Okay, so our wave 3 can end anywhere above 1842, but because we're in impulse wave 3, oops, excuse me, ideally we want that to be higher. Okay, so we want to see this becoming like 1, 2, 3, 4, and extended 5 or something. Okay, and my wave 1 is very short, so wave 5 can literally be anything. Or also think about that. If this is 1 and 2, then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's going to be 3, then 4, and 5. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we're looking for potentially our wave 3 to end around the 1865 or so. Okay, obviously, might be wrong. That might be ABC. Actually, would probably be a case where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and our unfinished here. This is ABC, this is ABC, and we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a flat, and then continue higher up. Okay, so we also need to take into account this alternative. But for now, we are looking bullish in case things change, or the probabilities are going to change, and for that, I will give you an alternative scenario. But for now, this is all there is for this Monday, the 6th of September. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button, subscribe, leave your comments, ask your questions, leave your analysis, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll speak again tomorrow.